Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes, and we have another wood slice project. I'm going to make some more ornaments, and we'll begin by sanding these wood slices that my husband cut for me. Once the slices were sanded, then what I wanted to do was to paint the inner part of the wood slice in a black matte finish. And to do this, to make them all uniform, I created a template using my Cricut. So what I came up with is that I ended up using this spray on the back of my paper to get it to stay, and that helped me create that template. So even after one stick, it's still sticky on the back. It is super sticky, which is what you want when you're doing a stencil. Stick is beginning to wear off after you do it a few times, but it's a spray, you can reapply it. Try to get it flat. And once it dries, I mean, it soaks right in. are, we will let them dry and then go on to the next step. All right, we're progressing right along with our black and white wood slices. I wanted to show you these last few. Essentially, what I did is, remember I saved all those negatives from when we did the last set. So what I've done is I've just kind of gone in and do a freehand little whooshy around the words. I'll pull up this purple tape. And then the backing come off easy. We'll replace our center for our O. Push our letters down. We've got our mini all warmed up. Center it on our ornament. And go ahead and give it a pressing. And I don't leave it on there too long because that contact paper will melt. See how the didn't stay on there long enough to really get these here down, but I'm going to give it another press. So I cut several of these. I cut enough for all of them, and they're about 9 inches long this time. Let that one cool down. And then I center it back here. Take this beast of a stapler. Give it a twist. That one didn't go in all the way. Not a big deal for me. I just tap it in. And there they are. Right, we're going to create little bows for these again. And sign the back. Tie it on. And get it all the way to the base. And then use this tail here to create a little knot here, a little macrame knot. 1 or 2. And that'll just act as a stopper to keep the bow from trying to trail off. Slide off the loop there. And then I cut them about what I have on the bow, and we'll put some E6000 there. And there they are. Cute little Christmas decoration. Now I'll get the Sharpie to sign. It's going to be initials and the year. All right, here we are. I saved the last bow to do with you just because I wanted to make sure that I had properly told you how to make it. So I let the tail hang a little bit below my fingers. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take it to the middle, wind it 3 times. 3. Cut this tail a little bit shorter. So that's where I had wound 3 around, and I'm going to let 1 go, pinch between my fingers, pull it and create just a little slip knot. Make sure that's going towards the back. And then to tie it, I basically just put it around the base where the loop is attached to the wood. I give it a square knot. Make sure it's pulled down tight. And then I do one of those little macrame where you over, through, loop it, which is basically just another kind of knot. So any kind of knot that will hold it, because what that will do is that'll prevent the bow from sliding up. And then pull them to the sides. And then I trim them up, and I go just about where the loop turns right there on both sides. You can see I have very little waste, which is a good thing. Then I take my tacky glue, and again I'm going to pull this just to make sure it's tight as possible. And this is that one with that little funky chip out of it. I'm going to show you it won't even matter. And then what I do is I glue I'm going to put a little bit here on this staple, which is one of these, not just a regular stapler, just to give it a little bit of reinforcement. And then on the knots, like where they actually cross over, to try to help them, because it'll dry clear. And I'll show you on some that are already done. And then basically let that set and dry. And that just sort of helps reinforce your work. So it looks kind of like that. Not necessarily on the front, but on the back. And what you'll have is something that looks like this. This is just almost like 90% dry. And then once it is dry, it's good enough to do it now. I'm going to take the bows and I'm going to fluff them before I put them on packages or give them, you know, in the boxes that I'm going to make, that sort of thing. It's just a cute little extra touch. So these were quite fun, and these were just basically the leftover from when we did our other set of wood cutouts, wood slices. So I saved all the backgrounds and then created this from them, which was kind of cool. Extra bang for my buck. Used the mini. It came in very handy to press all these on here. This is the twine that I used, just from Dollar Tree. It took almost a whole one, so you know, have a fresh one. This is a good tip. I just put it in a simple little shoebox as I was pulling out to make my bows, so I could go quickly. Used a couple different kinds of sandpaper because I sanded the blocks down. I did try this. This is something I wouldn't do again. So I had the paper templates, and I thought I'd be smart and spray them on there to keep them. No, this just was more aggravation. This stuff is really sticky, so this will probably work maybe for my mats. I don't know. We'll have to see. But actually, it was just easier to hold the template down, and then actually just to either with the big one or my small brush, don't judge me on my brushes, they're well loved, you know, and just do a freehand outer circle. So I used the flat black, matte black is what they call it, to do the backgrounds. So here's the difference between one that has no edge left and then here's one with an edge left. Let me know in the comments below which one you like best. I'm trying to debate which one I would do like with my next set. So should I do with no border, or I'm sorry, with a border or with no border? So let me know below. Oh, and then I did sign all of them, just using just a regular old Sharpie. My initials and the year. I just kind of like to do that on the projects that I make. Cards and tags and what have you. And of course, these are the tools. I use just my everyday scissors to cut stuff, because on these you cut the edge. So I took if you remember, I took this and just made a little frou-frou edge around it, then took the backing off and just used my regular everyday scissors for that. Didn't need anything dramatic. And then I needed these because sometimes the staple wasn't cooperative, so that helped me to bang it out. And then if I could bang it in, I banged it in with just my little micro hammer. And then of course my Cricut tools to be able to place my negative pieces again. Well, there we have it, our black and white wood slices. I hope you liked this video. It was kind of fun to create and to experiment and just to see what this would come. I had a picture in my head, and this is pretty close to what I was thinking that it would look like. I hadn't thought of this, and this was just a flub up. I painted the template, didn't do what I needed to do. I was like, well, let me just try that and see what it looks like. So now that I see them, I'm kind of like, oh, that's not too bad. So again, let me know in the comments, do you think my next set should have a border or no border? All right, well, I hope you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching it. And if you did like it, give it a thumbs up and please share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. I love to share all kinds of experiments with everyone. And if you hit that little bell icon over there, I think it's down there on that side, it'll let you know when I upload my next video, which we are just about to come into our 30-day DIY holiday series. So that should be a fun challenge to undertake. Well, once again, thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, happy crafting!